So yeah, Medabots, episode 11. It turns out this is what it looks like when you repair a Medabot.
Yeah, it has like a shell around it, and then like the parts are inside. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I know people of foot kinks. This is the best show I had. I
okay,
had to work with what I got, man.
okay,
Welcome to the Anispective cast, where we talk about Medabots and nothing else.
and nothing else.
Hopefully. Hopefully we don't spend 30 minutes talking about Shrek.
Yeah, hopefully.
The
So yeah,
Anispective cast.
Shut up.
Oh man.
So yeah, Medabee lost to Similidon because he's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, more or less. And yeah, Koji is very much upset, and Mr. Referee is just like, okay, well, here's your trophy. And Koji's like, no, I don't want it. I didn't earn it. Like, that wasn't the fight. That was just me beating on Medabee for like 5 seconds. And he walks up to Icky and just slaps him across the face. He's like, what was that?
Like that looks at Mr. Referee specifically like, no, take this trophy back. And he's like, I can't actually,
Can't actually do that. And then Koji's just like, okay, fine. Icky, if you want to rematch me by tomorrow evening, I'll be waiting at this location or whatever. It's like, actually come and give me a fight this time.
He's come like, reclaim your trophy, idiot.
Yeah, he's upset that he wasn't given the fight he thought he knew Medabee and Icky were capable of.
Yeah,
he hates that he won so easily, and it's kind of nice to see he's clearly like a well-to-do, super rich kid. He's not like a super snobby one. He seems to be very much dead set on like, I want to earn this.
It's like when you're playing a fine game online and the other guy like disconnects and they're just like, like their controller disconnects. So you like get a life advantage and they just stop moving before you realize it. And you just look over and they're just standing still and you wait for it to time out as you have a life lead. And it's like, well, damn it, that's not how I wanted to win.
Yeah. Well, it could be that their controller didn't disconnect and they just rage quit without like pulling the plug.
Could be. Always a possibility.
I've done something similar in the Dragon Ball Z Dead by Daylight, Dragon Ball the Breakers. It's like if the entire enemy team is like level 2 and 3 and I haven't evolved past like form 1 or 2, and they all come at me and just start beating on me, I'll just kind of stop doing anything because it's like I can't win at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, just kill me and end the fight and we'll go to the next one, whatever.
This is so unrelated, but I'm so glad they finally add a feature to Pokemon Unite where it's like if a teammate is just clearly like idling during battle, you can just surrender on the spot.
That's good.
That wasn't a thing before and it sucked.
Yeah, it's weird when competitive games don't have basic features like forfeiting or like a practice mode or whatever. Omega Strikers was like that for a bit, but they finally implemented both of those things.
Yeah, it's like you could surrender, you just can't do it until like a good ways into the match.
Yeah. League of Legends had a thing where you could only try to forfeit at like 15 minutes in, but they added an early surrender if the surrender vote is unanimous.
Okay, that makes sense. For this, it's like, oh, a teammate's idling during battle. Do you want to surrender? And you just need like 50%. Because it's like, yeah, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, I don't want to. And hopefully they're punished for like clearly just trying to game the system.
To an extent. Of course, I haven't really been like actively trying to get punished or anything. But it seems like the punishment is like, oh, you don't get your daily reward of 20 gold coins or whatever. And also you can't join a match for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's about standard.
Yeah, and then I assume as your like fair play rank keeps going down, it keeps getting worse.
Yeah, probably. My hope is just that like it's so bad when there's a way to idle in a game and just earn rewards without doing anything. So it's like as long as you have to do something, even if you do it badly, like as long as you have to participate.
Yeah, that's the problem
Ugh.
because there's like there's rewards where it's like, oh yeah, win like one match per day or whatever. It's like, a bunch of the Ardelies are like, oh yeah, participate in a ranked match, participate in like 5 matches using this type of Pokemon or whatever the crap. And it's like, oh, alright, I'll just go into a match and, that's where people are like, I'll just go into a thing and then just leave the Switch alone as I do something else.
Yeah. Typically, in a game like that, you can do just like a game versus bots or something, and it'll count.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate games that have like dailies where it's just like play a game as this character, like looking at Omega Strikers again. Complete a game as this character that costs 50,000 tickets or whatever, and it's like, oh, you mean the most expensive tier of character that I don't own?
Have I talked about the new Pikachu event?
No.
Where it's like, it's the dumbest event. And it's like, oh yeah, you join into a match. Your character is Pikachu. Everyone else on your team is Pikachu. Everyone on the opponent's team is Pikachu.
That's pretty funny.
Instead of a Rayquaza, you have to kill a Gigantamax Pikachu.
No, see, that's fine.
It's like all the like enemies just on the map just dot around, all the like minions are also all Pikachu and like different outfits, and they're using like surf and stuff.
Yeah, that's great. That's very similar to I mean, they don't go quite the extreme where all the monsters that you have to fight are like also the one character, but in League of Legends there's a game mode called All for One or One for All, where everybody plays the same champion like on both teams, and it's just it's goofy.
Man.
They don't do it very often because Riot hates fun, but
this is the only time the game's made me actually want to pick up Pikachu, because it forced me to use Pikachu, and it's like, you know what, yeah, I kinda do like some of the stuff Pikachu does.
Yeah. Is this an optional game mode, or is it just like, oh, you're playing Pikachu now?
Quick battle thing, but it's like the main one now, and there's like rewards and stuff tied to it.
Okay, as long as you're not forced to play it if you don't want.
Yeah. Also worth knowing, the last event like this, which is like the one right before this, was like an Eevee festival. And it's like, same deal. Yeah, same deal. Eevee evolutions only.
I mean, that's neat.
So it was like a really fun match where I just walked in and it's like everyone on my team was Glaceon.
Nah.
And I sharded the fuck out of them.
Okay, so you can choose any Pokemon as long as it evolves from Eevee. You're not locked, like
any
everybody
Eevee evolution, but you can be the same one because there's only like so many evolutions.
Okay, so everybody was Glaceon because it just happened that way.
It just happened that way. It was really dumb, but it worked really surprisingly well.
Hey, whatever works.
It helps a lot that Glaceon is like S tier right now.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Oh man, just get freaking ice shard stacks and you just like get one lock onto the guy and they just auto track to them no matter how far away you are. So it's like, okay, yeah, I see you, you're in my sights, and yeah, now you're dead as I'm just running away to safety. It's just a matter of time. Firing the ice missiles. Oh man, that Pokemon feels so stupidly strong.
Is it a new one?
Relatively, but it's like been around a bit, yeah. The big business, like you get stacks of ice spear or whatever that like, you get little ice crystals you can shoot and they all like go like, in one burst, one after the other, like a machine gun. But its other move is that it's like every normal attack you do gives you one of those ice shards and it speeds up your normal attack rate. So if you have a good attack speed sub, you just walk up to the enemy, you just immediately get like a full stack and you just unload on them right there.
Mm,
It's like
yeah,
just
that's
really good DPS. It's absurd.
yeah, that's something MOBAs like to do. Is like, here's a new character, and they're absolutely busted.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of, guess which freaking evolution is like top tier now?
Sylveon.
Sylveon's actually been out a while, but good guess. It is actually
Oh,
Leafeon, which is the newest one.
go figure.
Which is now in very effing dumb and limited tier of SS.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, they'll get
man.
nerfed later, but hey, how do we get people to buy the new character? Make them super busted.
If nothing else, I haven't seen as many people playing like freaking Leafeon as I saw playing Goodra. Freaking Goodra was a problem.
Hmm.
A good Goodra is basically unkillable because they just regenerate all the health that they get off of like the damage they do. So you'll be trying to outbox them and they'll just keep healing back up.
I love tanks.
Oh man, it feels like
I
they
love.
kind of nerfed Goodra into the ground and now they have to like bring him back up.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope they don't end up with a situation. There's a champion in League named Rise who they haven't done an update for him in a while, but I guess he's like in a decent place right now.
Yeah.
But Rise is a champion who has probably been reworked more than any other champion in the game. And it's just because up until for a long time they just could not figure out how to balance him.
Huh. What's his ability?
I couldn't tell you what it is now. I don't remember. He used to have a simple move of like he had a point and click like thing that would freeze you in place. He had like an orb, like he shot like a magic orb at you. And I think another one where he just like boosted his magical ability. That's like version 1 Rise,
God.
as far as I remember. Like I don't play the guy.
It's probably worth knowing that they've been like adding more defenders to the game, and yeah, they freaking Umbreon is a defender because of course.
Yeah, it's Umbreon.
Yeah, bulky Umbreon. And they do have a kind of similar move where they use Mean Look and it just forms a little like ring around a target that locks them in place and keeps them from like leaving, and you just like run up and you just melee the shit out of them.
Do they like get frozen if they like touch the edge of it?
No, they are just trapped in a tiny little circle.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it sounds like a Vagar's like magic cage thing where you're put in the middle of a ring if you don't get out of it soon enough, and nothing happens if you stand in the middle and don't move and don't touch the edges. But if you touch the edges, you get frozen in place for a short
Yeah.
time, and then
It,
Vagar can just unload spells on you.
it is worth knowing that, like, while you're in the ring yourself, you get boosted melee attacks which recover health.
Oh,
So you get really good at outboxing them.
crap! That's similar to another league champion who does something like that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, there's a character. I guess it kind of sounds like Pantheon, or not Pantheon, Jarvan the Fourth, where he'll dive onto a character and like erect like rock walls all around himself and his target, and you can like flash out of it or jump out of it or whatever. But if you don't have anything to do that, you're forced to 1v1 him.
Yeah, that's
And
about right.
And you don't want to 1v1 Jarvan.
Oh, man. Right, yeah, so Medabots.
Yeah.
Right, so Medabee runs away because he gets... No way, doesn't even run away of his own free choice because he loses so his Mel pops out. Yeah, because that's how it works. And he gets stolen.
Yeah, unless it seems like he doesn't even get stolen. The big rubber robo guy uh just seems to find it by chance, and he's just like, yeah, sure, why not? And he takes it.
Hey, free metal.
Yeah, I guess it's stealing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he knew it wasn't his. It was
It's
stealing. What am I
stealing. Yeah,
thinking?
it's stealing by like technicality. You're not like doing burglary, but you are taking. It's
Yeah,
like if you find a wallet on the ground and you don't turn to the police and you just keep it, that is technically stealing.
yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, the big guy finds the metal, and then they head back to their base, and then Icky, after he snaps out of his depressive state for after a few moments, is like, okay, we gotta okay, let's go, Medabee, and then like it's like, oh, he's not moving, and his metal's not in the thing, and we don't know where it is.
Crap. Well, time to
Crap.
take Medabee home and finally fix him up. Which, honestly, I like that this is a thing. They, like, takes the moment to do it.
Yeah, because it's like, so he's definitely like bummed out that Medabee has gone missing, and like he's worried and everything, and he's like, okay, well, gonna take, I guess not really take his mind off of Medabee, because how could you, working on his body?
Yeah,
But like,
it's depression mechanic work.
yeah, basically Icky like goes out of his way to like really like make sure he repairs and maintains Medabee's body and everything.
I
And
did
it's like,
like,
okay, we'll go
yeah.
find the metal later.
I did like that we get like a dumb, like funny moment where it's like, he's just walking by and the chicken man is there, and he's like, "Hey kid, I have a question. If you're going to go to space and you could only take one thing, what would you take?" And Icky's like, he kind of gets the idea. He's like, "I guess I'd take a friend, right?" And they're like, "Wrong, you idiot. Take air."
Yeah, if you don't take air, you can't survive in space, you idiot.
It's like somehow gets to the same point with the worst metaphor. And he's like, yeah, there's some things you just can't live without. Like a
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, the chick guy is absurd.
I love him.
Yeah, it's fun when he pops up.
So yeah, we go like sniff Medabee's body with a dog, and now we're like, okay, now we have smelled Medabee's feet, we know where to go, hopefully. Salty nose.
Yeah, basically the idea is to track Medabee by scent.
Meanwhile, with the Rubber Robo Gang, yeah, stuff is just kind of going down.
Yeah. So they're just like looking, like counting their money or whatever, and then like the big guy puts Medabee's he puts Medabee's metal into his watch, and he starts yelling about like, what'd you do? Where's my body? Give me back my body. And he just kind of slaps him into this mushroom Medabot.
I think it's a Tanuki.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's got a little raccoon face, right?
Yeah, you're right. It looks very mushroomy to me, though.
Yeah, I think it's the hat. I think it's the hat and the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like the loincloth so you can't see its massive Tanuki balls.
Yeah, we don't need to see that.
We don't need to see Medabee's Medaballs. But yeah, so they like go in the body and Medabee's just like, I'm gonna beat you and escape. And they're like, are you sure about that? And he uppercuts one of them. And they're like, okay, but are you actually sure though? And they have like a bunch of robots. And he's like, okay, maybe not. I like the little detail that after Medabee uppercuts the guy, in the next scene he's just missing a tooth.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, if why are you in such a rush to leave? Weren't you abandoned? We found your metal, just kind of
Yeah, come to the dark side, Medabee. Join the forces of evil. And it's like, as goofy as the Raw Robo Gang is, this is like a fairly serious feeling plot point.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you were abandoned. If you weren't, why did we find your medal on the side of the road like that? It's like, oh yeah, he did abandon me, I guess. And then Medabee's just like, all right, as of this moment, I am Medabee of the Rubber Robo Gang, Robo.
Yeah, I like they give him a position. They're like, oh yeah, if you do well, then you can become like branch manager of the city. And Medabee's like, oh heck yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Forgot about that.
Falls for the exact same trap Icky does when like the freaking student council president is like, oh yeah, beat Kikuhime and we'll make you the student council vice president.
Yeah. Oh man, branch manager. That's crazy. By the way, this happens the night that Icky is like tuning up Medabee, and then like they go and have Salty track him the following day.
Yeah. So they like get there and the rubber robo gang like ties them up and Medabee just shows up in the raccoon body like, oh yeah, didn't think you'd see me again? And they're like, oh, that's hilarious. How'd you get in there?
Yeah, look at that stupid robot. It's crazy.
Man, it feels like this should be such a cool moment and we just don't get it.
It's kind of cool when like so Medabee doesn't fight. They transport his body and then they run so they can go so Icky can have his rematch with Koji.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Do like the the screws also got captured.
Yeah, the screws showed up to presumably help, although it's probably just to steal Medabee's medal. At this point, I'm convinced there has to be a way to wipe the memory of a medal somewhere in this world.
Iwanoi spills the beans that Kikuhime was trying to like take the medal for herself.
There has to be some device or some shop you can go to where it's like this, have a big magnet, and they're like, okay, yeah, we will wipe the memory of this medal so you can use it for like new purposes. Because otherwise, what would anyone ever do with Medabee?
Or there's just a series of buttons that you can press on like the watch or something.
Yeah, the watch just overwrites the data.
Yeah. Fun fact, the Digimon Vital Bracelet and their DIM cards, the DIM cards are only supposed to be able to be used like twice by separate devices before you can't use it on a new one. You could just look up the debug combination to press the buttons and stuff, and you just reset a DIM card.
Nice.
Yeah, and even if they updated it so you can't access the debug menu on like newer models, I still have my older ones.
Yeah. But if nothing else,
fun.
Yeah. If nothing else, eventually we do get through the Medabee, and he's like, okay, but maybe the power of friendship really did matter, Robo. And Icky's like, yeah, Icky explains the deal and stuff.
Yeah, what it is that Icky finally has a chance to yell at Medabee and be like, you idiot, I was trying to, like, all of this stuff, I was trying to help you, you just made, like, assumptions and, like, all this stupid crap, and it's like, I've been trying to help you this entire time, and Medabee's just like, oh.
And Nikki just throws in like, I don't know anything about the bet. Spike just did it on his own, and Kiki just looks over like, what the crap?
Yeah, what's this about a bet, huh?
I think she literally says something along the lines of, this is what happens when you try to, like, do things without us or whatever. Or she's like, this is what happens when you try to do stuff without talking to us first.
Yeah, and like every time Iwanoi like gets ratted out or says something stupid, like Kikuhime just like starts kicking the crap out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of a sudden, Phantom Thief Retort busts in, and
oh my god, how do you know where they were going?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he gets them out of their ropes, and Medabee's like, quick, pop out the metal and get my body, and he does.
Yeah.
And then they run.
Honestly, I really do like this one, because it's like, This is the first time Medabee's voluntarily like, okay, you can take out my metal, and they like play the opening, and they animate the crap out of it. You know, it looks so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, this feels like the big turning point where Icky and Medabee are actually going to get along at least a little better from now on. Like, they're not
Yeah,
going to be at each other's throats.
they become a proper team for the first
Yeah.
time.
And I hope that's the case. I hope they're a whole lot more willing to work with each other now.
Yeah. So, like, you know, just, like, get Medabee's metal out, and they just transport his original body back in, and I no longer understand how the transportation process works.
I mean, clearly they just weren't too far away to transport it.
But this was the last body he was in, right? Should it just transport over the raccoon body?
Hmm.
Do you
Maybe
have to register the buy specifically?
Maybe that's what I was gonna say. Maybe you scan the tin pet or like link the tin pet up to the watch.
Maybe that's the only. No, because that can't be it. Because they tried to transport Pure Mermaid's buy over, right?
The problem with that was that it was out of range, not that it wasn't.
Yeah, but it's implied that like if it wasn't out of range, it would have worked, even though it's like not her watch, right? So
That's a good point.
So how
Yeah.
does it know which body to transport? Just
Maybe it's
yeah.
no, it's entirely based on the metal.
Wait,
I guess maybe the watch links the metal to the body.
maybe that's the only thing that would make sense because, like,
Yeah.
remember, Medabee's body wasn't like made for this metal specifically, as far as I'm aware. It was like an old body, and it just happened to work with the rare metal they found.
Yeah. Yeah. The only way it makes sense is if the watch syncs up the metal to the specific tin pet.
Maybe the metal just syncs up with the body, and it chooses which one it wants.
Yeah. Whatever the case, they transport the body and slap the metal in. And the screws actually help. They while Icky and Erica and I think Karin also run away to go do the Koji rematch, the screws stay behind to fight the Robo Gang.
Unfortunately, I can't really count this as a win because they're just fighting generic mobs.
Yeah, but still, it's cool that screws cool, actually do something for the hero, for like the main characters.
So yeah, it's time. It's time for rematch.
Yeah, and what a fight.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of short, but it's good, you know? This is a good fight.
Yeah. Essentially, Medabee gets his parts like wrecked again, but he does a whole lot better this time. Like it's not as immediate, but it's still very clear that Smilodon is still a very good fighter.
I like that it's like because Medabee's just tuned up now. They have the anime thing of like, oh, he's moving better than ever before. You know, this is like Medabee's at his peak. This is the strongest he's ever been.
Yeah, and the implication is like, look at how strong Medabee is if Icky like does maintenance like he's supposed to. How dare?
How dare? Yeah, no one clicked that link. That's gonna be viruses. It's gonna be so many viruses.
Yeah, hold on. Did they change how the stupid thing works? There's the timeout. Oh, ban. It's the hammer symbol. Got it.
Okay, yeah, you got a second after I did, or a second before, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a list of like increments of time, and those are timeout, but then all the way to the left is a hammer, and that's the ban button.
Oh, that's typed in manually.
Oh, I just click on the name and then do it from there.
Yeah, but yeah, we have the rematch. It's like immediately Medabee shoots out the claws and breaks that arm, and he loses an arm, and they clash and they both lose their other arm. So Medabee kind of does equal him in melee for a bit.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, they're equally matched, and they end up taking each other's parts out.
And we get this weird line from, like, what's his name? Koji? Yeah. Where he's like, okay, well, as long as, like, I have Hunter, you can't use Horn Missile. So I guess this match is a stalemate. Then I said a draw. And he says, actually, yo, what? Thinking about it, that would make this my win, right? And I'm sitting here like, no, I really don't think this would be your win. I'm not counting it as that if you, like, win through stalemate.
I think he just means because he already beat him once before.
Okay, I thought it was implying, like, it would officially count as, like, a win on, like, the actual match record or whatever.
Nah, I think it just means because this is a rematch, because he won before and he was unsatisfied with it. If, like, this was a stalemate, I guess that would technically mean it's still his win.
Yeah, that makes way more sense, actually. That makes way more sense.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And Nikki's like, okay, Medabee, trust me.
Trust me on this crap, Medabee.
Trust me on this. Fire your missiles. And like somebody on the side is like, but you can't do that. You saw what happened last time. Medabee's like, no, I trust him. I'll do it. And he's like starts running at Similodon, and he's like, all right, now turn around and fire your missiles. And Medabee's like, what? He's like, just do it. And so he turns around, fires the missiles. Similodon activates Hunter, and the explosion propels Medabee into Similodon, knocking him out.
I should mention Hunter was activated before he turned around.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The implication he was going to shoot forward, and then he turned around. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the recall just sends Medabee flying into Similodon, which somehow KOs him.
He does a TF2 rocket jump at him.
It's so goofy and just comedic, and it's like, dang, alright.
Yeah. But hey, Medabee's still up, and Similodon gets knocked out, making the win Nickies.
Yeah, we do finally beat Similodon. It's just really, really hard.
Yeah. And then I like that Medabee gets up and she's like, what are you thinking? You stupid. Like, blowing me up in the fight like that.
Yeah, it just plays on all his insecurities all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, we conclude the arc where hopefully Ikki and Medabee get along better. And we don't have to do episodes like this anymore.
Yeah, hopefully next time it won't be as forced.
Yeah.
Listen, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson, and that lesson is when doubt, reflector backwards.
So yeah, these couple of episodes, they're pretty good. I don't like how some of it is written, but it's still pretty good.
Today, Ikki learned the value of PK Thunder.
Yeah, I guess that's more accurate than saying that he rocket jumped.
Oh man, I wish this episode wasn't as goofy as it was. Cause like it's such a good like serious like this feels like such a plot episode. And you like go through it and it's like, oh yeah, Medabee joins the Rubber Robo gang, but it's like kind of played for laughs. And he gets like a goofy raccoon body and you like wins through comic hijinks. And it's like, like come on, you could have made this cool. You could have made this way cooler.
I mean, it's not really a comedic win. Like it's just unconventional.
I don't know. Medabee literally has the anime swirly eyes and everything. It's really goofy looking. It's pretty comedic feeling.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, I know that was like the intention or whatever, but it's like, yeah, no. It does throw me off a bit with like how serious it feels like this should be. Like, this feels like it's the first time where the comedy's really like gone in the way of the drama for me, I think.
Mm.
I don't know. What are your thoughts, I guess?
I I don't know. I think it's fine. Like I said,
Yeah.
I like the episode despite how some of it is poorly written.
Yeah, it's a good two-parter if nothing else. It's just, I think it's a bit lacking.
Yeah.
So
Next
yeah,
episode's cool though.
next episode is the coolest clown world shit ever, and I kind of love it.